There are fascinating and pleasant people and places on my YouTube channel, Victor Markin. Click to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Art is a creative activity that expresses imaginative or technical skill. It could be drawing, digital art, photographs, painting, sculpture, ceramic art, contemporary art, collage, street art, and many more. At the Alliance Gallery in Accra, Ghana, where over 100 artists showcase their works, Julius Frempong features prominently with his acrylic paintings and drawings. He had a childhood dream of becoming a commercial pilot, but growing up he shifted to art and has been practicing for over 30 years.
Generally, I work in a variety of forms: watercolor, acrylic, and then oils. But I generally like using acrylics because they are quick drying. And over the years, that's what I've been doing. And I take delight in capturing typical African scenes.
Yes, tell us.
Yes. Most of these scenes have to do with what we see normally in our typically remote areas, like our normal markets we see around, and then capturing canoes and then seashores and all those things that make it look more African. Those are where my passion is, and that is what I always concentrate on.
Let's talk about the patronage. Do people accept you for what you present, or they will wish you did something else?
Oh, certainly. I'm pleased with the patronage ever since I started. Ghana platform is not like we have in Europe, but it's been quite rewarding. Yes, people really appreciate the works we do. It's not easy to make it in this country, but it has been well so far.
Why is it not easy to make it here?
Here the patronage is somewhat low. There are people who don't even appreciate art, and it's a general thing we have here in Africa. It's only in some isolated cases where you have people actually showing a lot of desire for art. But with time, things are changing.
What can we do so that it's easy for anybody to walk into an art gallery and then purchase painting or sculpture or textile?
I think we should make our profession more visible. It's like it's sort of being put in some I don't know, some vacuum, yeah, some cage. We should make it more visible. We should make it more marketable. And I believe with time, as it's growing now, people will begin to.
When you talk about marketing art, what does that entail? You're talking about exhibition, you're talking about seminars, you're talking about workshops. What exactly do you mean?
As you just rightly said, it depends on these major things. There should be a series of exhibitions. Back in the days, we had some hotels who were actually promoting artists every month. They were taking the cost of the reception and everything. And even in some cases, even giving the artists some incentives to support them in the exhibition they are launching. But these days, those things don't exist anymore. So I believe with time, these things have to be taken care of. And then there should be a lot of noise being made of art. But it seems that is not being done. So.
People say your works are very expensive. Do they have any justification for saying that?
Well, you see, sometimes the work depend on where it's being sold. There are some galleries that have a very big reputation worldwide. They can be compared to any gallery in the world. And so their market is also on a high side. The value of a work you sell in, let's say this building, you can't sell on the street or sell in any other open space. It might be the same work, but the value will not be the same because of the environment in which you may have placed at the time. So sometimes the reputation of the gallery you are hosting is also one big issue.
Let's talk about inputs. I mean, you need certain bits and pieces to get your work going. Do you have them in Ghana? Do you have to import them? Do these also affect the cost of your product?
Seriously, the materials affect the works a lot because there is one big problem in Ghana. We don't have areas where you can get your pigments very easily. It's just some isolated cases where you have some 1 or 2 companies bringing them in. And because they are the solitary people bringing them in, they just cost it anyhow they want. And you don't have any option than to buy. And so honestly, the paintings and the works, the materials used are very, very expensive. That is also one thing that affects our works. Because you spend a lot, you definitely have to recoup your money. Then the gallery also will be taking its percentage. You need to calculate that. All those things don't come easy. So it is a very, very big problem when it comes to getting materials to work. Very, very big problem.
And I think you need a push as well. Let's talk about the state or the government and its role in art. Do you see anything of that nature, or it is like the state is sitting somewhere else and you have to fend for yourself?
Oh, certainly. The state is sitting somewhere and the artists have to fend for themselves. But at the end of the day, you will go and then pay your high taxes, all right. I know some countries like Nigeria who help artists. They have funds for artists. Right from school, those funds are there. Whilst you are practicing, those funds are there. You can always go and access it. You sell your works, you pay back. It is there in Nigeria, but it's not here. It has never, nobody has ever even thought of it. Because it's like people see art as some secondary thing. Meanwhile, in some countries, it is a first-class profession. So over here, we have been seconded to the background, and that is also some serious that is affecting us. So it's made, even the young artists are not committed to doing the job that they should be doing, because at the end of the day, you will not even have pigments to work with. And so that is
difficult for you alone to tackle this situation. There must be an organized group.
Certainly.
We have this Alliance Gallery here. I think you have about 170 artists who have their works here. So why don't you, with one voice and with one purpose, appeal to the government to come to your aid?
Yeah, I think we are trying to do something like that this year. Very soon, things will be put in place, focusing on that area, because we need to make the government know of our existence, and then we need to know that we need to get support from them. I don't know, they collect our taxes, and big taxes too. So you can't collect the tax and not help me to progress. It is done everywhere. The government helps its indigenes, and the indigenes pay back. So why should we be paying taxes when we're not being helped? We also need to be helped. And so this year, I think we're going to tackle that issue.
When you were growing up, if you happen to be interested in being an artist, you want to be a painter, or you want to be a sculptor, or you want to delve into textile, our parents, would say, no, you don't go to that area. I want you to be a medical doctor. I want you to be an engineer. How did you come to be accepted by your family?
Well, they knew from childhood I was interested in art. The opposition was not there as such. So when the piloting issue did not come through, nobody complained about my being an artist. So I just sailed through. But I know in most cases, people will not allow their children to do that because they see the professions as doctors and lawyers and things as more tangible, lucrative than an artist.
Prestige, honor, money.
Yes. Some even feel to become an artist, it is because maybe you couldn't make it in school or something. That artists are people who are failures in school. So they tend to that as another resort, but that is never so. I myself read science, and I qualified one to have been able to do what I wanted to do, but because of some twisting things, I had to forget it. So that is how it is.
The artists didn't even portray themselves in such a manner that you would love to be an artist.
Yes.
But now, so many of you people are making it big.
Yeah.
So what can you do to get us all interested in whatever that you are doing, so we can come look at your works and even pay and buy some?
Yeah, one major issue is to, for instance, this gallery, to make it more popular, more visible to people. Make people know what actually goes on in this building. There are many who use this street and don't know what actually happens here, unless for maybe one or two reasons. So we need to make art seen everywhere. Back in the days, we were getting some funds from Holland and Denmark to have art shows on the streets, in the beaches and all those places. Those things were also helping. But in other sense, I believe we should be holding more seminars, workshops, exhibitions, getting people involved in art, letting them know what actually is involved in art. And then I believe with time, we shall also get there.
Have you tried tackling it from the schools, engaging them, opening your doors for them to come and see what you have here? And I believe that gradually the interest will come.
Yeah, from time to time, some schools organize tours here. They have been doing it. They come in the bus or something. They come and then scout around.
In your own opinion, what do you think will be done so that we catch them young?
Oh, you see, in the secondary school, for instance, we have those who do visual art. There are some who are actually good in sketching and all those things. Those talents, for instance, can be tapped. From there, you can improve on their skills. And then I believe they also come to replace the old ones with time.
I'm looking at some of your works here. Can you convince me as to why I should buy your works and not take my money somewhere else and then buy some clothes or eat and then go home?
Yeah. One thing about the works we do here is that we use the best of pigments. A painting you buy here can last several centuries because of the pigments used. And as I told you, the pigments are very expensive. And the works also take a whole lot of time to complete. That aside, as I said, only high-profile materials are used. And then, based on our calculations we do here too, I mean, it makes it proper for you to collect an art piece here. That is, if you really want an authentic piece. Buying from the street, you may have people who use inferior material to produce something cheap for you, which will not last the distance. Over here, from the stretching to the finished work, everything is expensive. And so those are some of the reasons that go into the production of the works. And then people also sell by their name. If you are a young artist today, you can't compare yourself to somebody who has been in the profession for about 30 years, who has held exhibitions here and there, who's come to know so many notable people. You also have to start from somewhere and then climb up. And so those are some of the reasons why you see some of our prices the way you see them.
How do you arrive at the theme or names of your works?
Well, before you start doing work, sometimes it depends on you, the artist. You are the one and the only person thinking of what you want to do. You can capture one scene and decide to change the name 100 times. It depends on you. But relatively, what you say must have a little direction on the work you want to do. And I believe that is one good thing.
Take us through again your works. You have a natural talent, and what you do also portrays, as we said, our environment, our beaches, our forests, our markets. How do people accept as against those who want to buy abstract paintings?
The funny thing is, there are about 2 or 3 categories of people. There are patronage from people who want only abstract. There are people who also want realistic. There are those who want both abstract and realistic together. I, for instance, I don't go only into abstract. I do generally realistic works, but then I blend them with abstract. I sometimes along the line do abstract, but I'm generally into realistic. People are also there with their background as generally abstract. You choose the direction you want to take, and then you follow it. But there is nothing binding anybody from switching sometimes. Yeah, you decide on the interest you have, and then the direction you want to go, and then you work on that.
Yes, does art pay? For example, if I want to get myself involved in art, can I survive on painting or drawing or sketching?
Certainly, it pays. There are many people around who have actually made it from the art, because one painting, for instance, can sell for the price of the end of service benefit of about 3 people. One painting.
Yeah, tell it in figures. How much, for example, your work, averagely, how much would you sell it?
For instance, a painting that measures around, let's say 50 inches to 70 inches can start from around $20,000. Cedis.
And how many can you sell, for example, in a month? so that you can survive and enjoy life meaningfully.
With those paintings, even if you sell one a year, you have gotten money. If you sell even one, you have made money for the year. But in actual fact, there are chances of selling several of them in a year. We don't actually have to target a month or 2 months. Let it be there. Someone will certainly come for it.
So you, for example, Julius, your target group, who are you selling your works to?
Most of the people who patronize the works are these expatriates, foreigners who come to Ghana, who visit Ghana. And also, some Ghanaians also patronize art a lot. I know of Ghanaians who buy art a lot. So it depends on the individual. There are Ghanaians who love art a lot, and there are Europeans who also buy it a lot. So in both cases, the produce comes from both sides.
Let me ask you personally, what are some of the stumbling blocks that make it difficult for you to rise to the occasion? You've been doing this job for pretty 30 years.
Yeah.
I'm sure you would have loved to be well known all over the place. What are some of the problems that you encounter that doesn't make you do your work and then enjoy doing it?
Well, as I said, sometimes it depends on the marketing, especially being visible around. You know, when you're lucky to have some works in maybe expatriate galleries and those places, I think your name will also rise quickly.
So are you expecting the Alliance Gallery to do the marketing for you, or you want to do the marketing yourself?
Oh, certainly we have some few programs to hold here. After that, you as an individual artist can also go around. The gallery will certainly support you. You can also, we have a lot of galleries around Europe. You can go and then state your case, and then you start maybe selling works there. You can be in Ghana and be sending works there. It's done by many people. So the doors are open to everybody. But for now, there are some things that have to be done here, God willing, this year, after which you can follow that terrain. But you can still be here working for your local representatives and also selling abroad.
But I've been told that the best artworks in this country cannot be found here. They've all been sold. How come?
Well, I don't actually believe that, because art is a process. Somebody does one today, another person will do another one tomorrow. And beauty, they say, lies in the eye of the beholder. What may be nice to you may not be nice to the next man. So when you talk of good works that have been sold, maybe the person has his terminology of good, but in actual fact, all the works that have been produced now are of world-class standard, and they keep coming every day. That is why you see them going off the walls. Once they are off the wall, somebody has bought it, and then that also means it is doing well.
And you subscribe to the idea that we should have maybe a museum where some of these works will be kept there.
Certainly. Certainly. I believe there was this museum. I don't know what's happening to it, but that is one problem with us. We can't keep records. But this is a place where some of the notable names, like Professor Glover, those names that we've known over the years, could have their works there. So that generations can come and say, oh, this is the work of this man. But I don't think we have this system anymore. So it would have been good for us to have such a representation of such great men. You know, then I believe it will also go to help us.
Let's talk about the future. We've been talking about your past. What does the future hold for you?
Planning on staging an NGO for the downtrodden female potters. It should have been held last year, but the Kaya, yes. The Kaya, yes. Right. We are working feverishly on it.
The Kaya, people in the market.
Yes, yes. Those girls who sleep on the streets and all those things. We are planning on using freight containers as houses for them. But for now, we are waiting for the convoy to be lifted, and then we carry on with the process. So that is one major job I am going to do this year. And then from there, we can go around the world and then secure some other places to market ourselves.
We were talking about government taking taxes from you. I think the government should also lay the platform for you to make the money.
Yeah.
So when it is taking the taxes from you, then you won't complain.
Certainly.
What advice or what appeal goes to the government or to the state to help you artists?
That's the point I was driving out earlier. a series of governments have done nothing to help artists. Nothing at all since independence.
So what do you want them to do? That is what I'm asking for.
They need
what do you want the government to do for you?
There are many things they can do for us. We don't need them to do the marketing for us. But they should create a conducive atmosphere for us to work. Getting us, even if maybe discounting the importation of our materials for us, it will be a good precedent. You understand? And then maybe setting up some fund. It is done in Europe and everywhere. Even in Nigeria, as I was saying earlier, it is done. Set up a fund. Let it be managed by competent people for artists. A refundable fund. Let the artists come and assess it, work, let the gallery retrieve the money for you. And they will keep working and working very well. But there is nothing of the sort. There is nothing of the sort. Even when funds come, you don't see where it passes. So this is one big problem. The government is taking a lot of tasks from us. So I believe it is also good for them to also help the artists. They should use credible bodies as representatives for the artists. And then with that, when you channel funds to them, I think you can help them. So when the artist is paying the money, is paying your tax, he doesn't feel bad because he knows you are also helping. But you're not helping me, you're taking my tax. Not only just taking, but taking more than you should be taking. I don't believe anybody will be happy with that.
And the other thing borders on the banks. You know, you told me how much your works cost. They're expensive. Can you use that one as collateral at the bank?
This country, apart from a house and maybe a brand new car, nobody will use an artwork as a collateral.
No, but it's expensive. Can they accept that as collateral?
I don't know if any.
How can they give you loan based on what your deposit is at?
I don't know of any bank that does that for now.
Do you think a suggestion
maybe
should be sent to them?
Yes, maybe. I don't. Some countries may be doing that. Europe, they may do that easily because they know the value of art. But in this country, I don't know. Even when you are going to use a car, they will tell you want a brand new car, not a used car. They will tell you don't want a car that is below 10 years. That is above 10 years, if I should say. So as for that area, I don't even know. You see.
Because that will have also been...
It will be easy.
Yes.
Very easy. So these are the areas we want to meet the government on along the line because it's very, very important. You know, we are not being helped and yet we are being overtaxed. When you do that, you are compelling the artists to also cheat you. Because what will happen is, if somebody comes and wants my work, I'll just pull it off the wall, take it to my house and sell it to the person. The government has lost. I'll take the money, I'll not bring you any percentage.
Or you could even decide to go and mount an exhibition outside.
Outside anywhere.
Sell your work.
Sell my works, yes.
And come back.
Nothing comes to the government. So if these things continue, you'll be putting some idea into the heads of the artists. These are some of the things we don't want to happen. So I believe along the line, the government will have to come in and then try to do something about it. It is done by our neighboring countries. Some Nigerians people go to Nigeria, collect their funds for them, come to Ghana and work. And we sit here, we don't get anything.
You have any idea as to why this is going on?
Well, it's because they have not focused their attention on the artists. So it's about time the artists made them know we are also there and that we are also visible. We are also working and helping the government. And so we also need to be supported. So I believe this battle has to be started by the artists themselves. If we start it, then the government will also come to this realization that we have been making a mistake all these years. We need to help these people. Because this gallery, for instance, makes billions of cedis for the government each year. If the gallery is not working, it's not functioning, the government will lose that money.
I've been to some African countries, and what attracts me most when I'm there is the artworks that are on the walls of the buildings. For example, this structure, the outside, there will be a painting of some sort. So every day when you are going through town, you are seeing all these artworks, and that's an attraction. We have empty walls in this country. Why can't we decide to do something of that nature and brighten the atmosphere?
That is also one thing that I believe we need to do as a body. You know, most of the time, when we want to do, let's say, a hotel project, it's the artist who generally has to approach them and then maybe talk to them or something of the sort. Or in some cases, somebody knows somebody who's an artist, calls the person, then they talk. So these are things, most cases, the artists themselves have to approach and then talk about. But as I'm saying, when we become very visible, when we make ourselves seen all around, these things will be easier to address.
Does it mean you don't have a strong body now?
I should say so, but we are building one. God willing, this year things will change. Yes, we are building one.
Let's talk about COVID-19 and its impact on your work, you personally, and the generality of artists.
With the COVID, I must say it's affected everybody, and it has affected also very seriously. Last year, for instance, we closed the gallery for about 5 months. It was reopened somewhere in December for about 2 weeks and closed again until January. So you can see all these 5 months, you will not have anything. For 5 clear months, that is 150 days, you will not sell anything. And that is a problem. So it actually ran many people down. And the situation has still not stabilized too much because it is still not out of the system. So as for the COVID issue, I must say it's run us down a lot. But it's something that has come to pass. So we'll just wait for the right time and then we'll get back on our feet.
What is your last word for all of us in this country and those in the diaspora? Now they are coming to this country, some are taking up residences, some are taking up citizenship. What do you have to tell them about our culture, our artworks?
Well, I'll ask them to visit places that have credible artists, places that have got valuable artists, like Alliance Gallery, for instance. If you come to Alliance Gallery, you should be assured that you have artists with good background. Then also ask them to patronize them because they are meant for them. You should come and then look on the walls, make their choices, and then I know some are building houses and things. They should pick a few for their homes. But so we are also helping the artists, and then the tradition will grow.
So I'll give you the last word now. But then maybe there were some things that I could have asked and I forgot. So tell us, whatever that is on your mind, that will come from.
Well, I really appreciate your coming, and then I believe this is also a chance for us to vent our spleen and make our voice heard. And then I believe that with time, certain issues that are really disturbing us will be addressed. Hoping that in the next few months, everything will stabilize. And then, so as I was saying, we want our brothers and sisters from the diaspora who are now coming back to settle, especially in Ghana, to visit the proper art places and then patronize some of the artworks. And then they can also contact artists to beautify their homes for them. And that is also something that will also go along with to help the artists. Yeah.
Ghanaian artist Julius Frempong in Accra, Ghana. He spent his youthful days in the Congo, DRC, hence his nickname Congo. He picked the rudiments of his trade or industry as a child in the DRC. I know you have enjoyed today's program. Let's see it as you click like, comment, share, or subscribe so you don't miss any of the episodes, as you will be notified anytime a story is uploaded here. Thanks for watching. There are fascinating and pleasant people and places on my YouTube channel, Victor Markin. Click to like, comment, share, and subscribe.